day, grade 10 learners. Today, we will be looking at linear relationships. When we talk about the linear relationship graphs, we are referring to graphs which are showing the relationship between two variables. And what is key is that this graph starts at 0 and 0, or they start at the origin. This is the point which is called the origin on the graph. And what is key again is that there is constant difference between two consecutive values. But this is not the only graph with two consecutive values. What is key with this graph is that as much as it's having the constant difference between two consecutive values, it also starts at the origin. And the other fact is that there's the general formula for a direct proportion linear graph is that when you calculate, you say the constant difference, you multiply it by the independent variable. And remember, the independent variable is that one which is found on top of the table. Let us have a look at the first question. Tsiamo bought a box of muffins, and the relationship between the number of muffins and cost price is represented in the table below. Study the table and answer the following questions. So make sure that you go through the table, look at the table, look at the relationship. According to this table, we say for 0 number of boxes, there's 0 muffins. In 1 box, there are 6 muffins. In 2 boxes, there are 12 muffins. In 3 boxes, there are 18 muffins. I hope you are able to establish the pattern to tell what is happening there. So let us have a look at the first question. How many muffins are packed in each box? So when we say in each box, we refer to 1 box. Even if we have 2 boxes, but you know there is a number of muffins in 1 box and there's a certain number of muffins in another box. So because 1 box has got 6 muffins, therefore our answer here will be 6 muffins. That is the answer for the first question. So let us have a look at the next question. Calculate the value of f and g. So to calculate the value of f and g, let us have a look at f. What does f represent? F is the number of muffins, total number of muffins that will be in 6 boxes. So to find how many muffins will be found in 6 boxes, we simply take 6 boxes, multiply by the number of muffins in 1 box, which is 6, and then I hope if you press your calculator, 6 multiplied by 6 will give you 36. Therefore, we say in 6 boxes we will have 36 muffins. The next question is to find the value of G. What is G? G is the number of boxes which can hold 48 muffins. So now to find that, we take 48 and we divide it by the number of muffins in each box, which is 6. So when we divide 48 by 6, we get 8. So you found your values of f and the value of g. The next question. Determine the formula to calculate the number of muffins in each box. So the formula to calculate the number of muffins in each box, remember, we said we are going to take the number of muffins in each box multiplied by the independent variable. So if we need for 1 box, we simply take 6 multiplied by 1. If we need 2, we take 6, we multiply by 2. Hence, we don't write specific values there. We just say number of boxes. So that is your formula. And then another question. How many boxes can hold 72 muffins? So for us to know how many boxes will hold 72 muffins, we simply take 72 muffins, we divide it by the number of muffins in each box, which is 6, and then 72 divided by 6, we get 12 boxes. Now let's get to practice what you have just learned. Sipho is selling jewelry, and the relationship between the selling price and number of jewelry pieces is represented in the table below. Study the table and answer the following questions. Okay, let us have a look at the table. Having a look at the table, you can see that, okay, if you have one piece of jewelry, then the cost is 50 rand. For 2, it's 100 rand. For 3, it's 150. And I hope before you can even answer the questions, already you have established the relationship. You are able to see what the relationship is between the consecutive values. So the other thing that you can do is to get the difference between the consecutive values. We can simply say 100, which is for 2 pieces of jewelry, subtract 50, and 100 minus 50, it's 50. So you can see that your constant difference is 50 rand. Always, it's 50. I'm sorry, it's 50 rand. Even if it's not written as a rent here, it's only written 50. Take note that the cost is in rands. So because the difference is 50 rands, therefore we say to get the next one, you simply add 50, you add 50, you add 50. That is the pattern. So calculate the values of K and L. Can we start with the value of K? To calculate the value of K, we say K is going to be the number of jewelries which can cost 200 rand. So even if the rent is not written there, I can just write 200 and I divide it by 50 rand. This cost is in rent. I divide this by 50 rand. Therefore, the cost is going to be, because 50 rand is the cost for one piece, we say 200 divide by 50. Therefore, we will get 4. Then we say the value of K is therefore 4. And let us answer the next question. The value of L. Before you can answer, just ask yourself, what does this symbol represent? So in this case, L represents the cost for 7 pieces of jewelry. So now, this was the value of K. So now, to find the value of L, we are therefore saying, because one piece costs 50 rand, therefore 7 will be, for 7, we will say 7 multiplied by 50 rand. Therefore, the cost is therefore going to be 7 multiplied by 50, which is 350 rand. So on that table, you can just write your 350. So we've calculated the cost that we are going to have for 7 pieces of jewelry. The next question, determine the formula to calculate the cost of selling the jewelry. So looking at the previous question, when we calculate the cost, we simply take the independent variable, which is the number of pieces of jewelry. We multiply it by the cost of one jewelry. So now, to get the formula, we will say cost equals, we don't become specific, because this should be suitable for any value on the top of the table. Therefore, we say it equals to the number of jewelry pieces, and then we multiply by the cost of one jewelry, which is 50. So this is your formula. Calculate the cost of selling 50 pieces of jewelry. So to calculate the cost of selling 50 pieces of jewelry, we can simply use the formula. Now we know that when we use the formula, you take the number of jewelry pieces, you multiply it by 50. So this is going to be 50 multiply by 50. Let us press the calculator together. Then we have 50 multiply by 50, and the answer is 2,500 rand. Even if you don't write the symbol rand, it is still fine because it is not indicated on the table. But take note that the cost is in rands. So I want you to take a short break. I will see you right after the break.